Welcome to the top 3 free agents by positions. We're going to go through every position on the diamond and give you the top 3 free agents. Players without club options or player options take precedent here. Let's start with the catchers. First, Buster Posey does have a club option. He opted out of 2020 and came back in 2021 in a big way. His 18 home runs was the most since 2015, and his 889 OPS was the second highest of his career. Next year will be his age 35 season, so the question is, was 2021 a last hurrah, or does he have a few more seasons like this in the tank? Either way, if the Giants don't pick up his option, he's the best catcher on the market. Next, it's Mike Zunino. Club option here. 2021 turned out to be a career year with 33 homers and 860 OPS, both career highs. Not a bad way to usher in your 30s. Next year will be his age 31 season, and he'll be poised to repeat his performance from this year. The question is, will the Rays let him hit the market? Likely not, but if they do, he's one of the best catchers available. Maybe the best available, depends on how you feel about Posey. Next, Christian Vasquez, another club option guy. After a 2019 and 2020 season that looked like Vasquez was turning into one of the best offensive catchers in baseball, he took a big step back in 2021. Despite that, next year will be his age 31 season, and it wouldn't be out of the question to see his offensive output pick back up. The Sox have the club option, so they may choose to bring him back. If they don't, he'll be one of the high-profile catchers available. Let's go to first base, and we start with Freddie Freeman. 2021 was another peak season with 31 homers, an 896 OPS, and a league-leading 120 runs scored. Next year is going to be his age 32 season, so one has to wonder, how many years does he want, and how many years are teams willing to offer? The house money is on him returning to the Braves, but crazier things have happened. Next is Anthony Rizzo. He did take a step back in 2021. Most of his numbers were below career norms or averages, but he still put up a respectable OPS of 783 with 22 home runs. Next year will be his age 32 season, so we probably see more 2021 type years than the 2017 type years, but even if that's the case, I think most teams will take his 2021 output and his leadership qualities. After Freeman, he's the best first baseman in the class. Next, it's Brandon Belt. In limited time, 97 games in 2021, he slugged a new season high in home runs with 29. His OPS in 2020 was just over 1,000, and in 2021 it was just under 1,000. So is this who Brandon Belt is now, or at least for another year or two? Next year will be his age 34 season, so this type of production can't be expected over the life of a 3 or 4, even 5-year contract for sure. But heading into this offseason and looking at next year, he's the third best first baseman available. Second base, Marcus Semien leads the way. To say 2021 was a career year is sort of an understatement. 2021 was an all-time year. His 45 home runs is the most ever by a second baseman in a single season and beat out his previous career high by 12. He'll be entering his age 31 season, so he has more in the tank and will certainly be looking for a big payday after that type of season. Next up, it's Cesar Hernandez. There's a club option here. He posted a career high in home runs with 21, but that came at the expense of his batting average, finishing 38 points below his career average. The Sox have the club option for him, just $6 million, so they'll likely pick that up. But if they don't, and if he's going to be a 20-homer guy for the next couple of years, he'll be a good option at second for someone. Next up, it's Donovan Solano. Since joining the Giants in 2019, he's posted a OPS of 789 and hit 330, 326, and 280 in those 3 seasons. Now, next year will be his age 34 season, so with that in mind and his career numbers, you probably don't sign him to be your everyday second baseman, but he could be your 5th infielder and add quality depth. Next up, it's shortstop, and we're going to go 4 deep here, more than the 3 we're doing for the other positions for obvious reasons. Leading off is Corey Seager. For the second straight year, an OPS over 900. Nobody doubts his ability on the field. The only issue, and it's a big one, is the injuries. And you know teams will use that in negotiations. The good news is he'll be entering his age 28 season, so he still has some really good seasons ahead of him, as long as he stays healthy. Next up, it's Carlos Correa. A career season this past year for Carlos Correa. new career high in home runs and runs scored, and near career highs in hits and RBI. Like Seager though, injuries have been an issue. 2021 was just the second time in his career that he had 500 or more at-bats. He'll be entering his age 27 season, and despite the injuries, will be highly coveted based on the age and his playoff track record. Next up is Javi Baez, entering his age 29 season and showing no signs of slowing down. After the trade to the Mets, his OPS jumped to 111 points. He does strike out a lot, but 2020 aside, he's at least going to give you an OPS of 800 with 30 homers. Next, it's Trevor Story, the fourth 20-something-year-old shortstop here. 2021 was a down year for the most part. I think distractions within the organization came into play, but look to the career averages for what a new team can expect. A 272, 340, 523 slash line, a 30 homer guy, 100 runs if he's at the top of the lineup, 100 runs driven in if he's batting third or fourth. Let's move to third base, and we'll go with Kris Bryant. Yes, he's played a lot of outfield, but we're going to put him at third for the purposes of this video. Bounced back after a disaster in 2020 to post an 835 OPS with 25 home runs. He might not be the 40 homer guy we thought he would be when he first came up, but an 835 OPS, 25 home runs, and his defensive versatility will be attractive to any team. Next up, it's Eduardo Escobar. If you slot Bryant as an outfielder, then Escobar is the best third baseman in the class. 28 homers with 90 RBI and a 786 OPS in 2021. 23 homers in 18, 35 in 19, 28 this past season. Give you a feel for the kind of bat he's got. He'll be entering his age 33 season in 2022, so another year or two of this production is a reasonable expectation. Next for third base, it's Kyle Seager. There's a club option here. The Mariners probably don't take it because it's $20 million. I think there's a good chance they'd let him go. He'll be entering his age 34 season and is coming off new career highs in homers, 35, and RBI, 101. So there's still some pop in that bat, and there are plenty of teams looking for lefty pop. Let's go to outfield, and we're going to give you 5. We're going to start with Starling Marte, a 300 hitter, and one of the best base stealers in the game right now is an intriguing combination. And for good measure, he posted an OPS of 837 last year. How his market comes together will be interesting to watch because I've got him as the best available. And the next few outfielders we're going to talk about are power guys and not speed guys like Marte. Next up, it's Nick Castellanos. There's a player option, and I think a good chance he takes it. He's becoming one of the best hitters in the National League. He hit 34 homers, 95 runs scored, and 100 runs driven in with a 939 OPS this past season. That player option, if he takes it, locks him in for the next 3 years. Now he's entering his age 30 season, so does he opt out and try to find a deal that takes him further into his 30s? The other question is, does he want to stay in Cincy or go somewhere that is a little more guaranteed to play well into October? Next up, it's Michael Conforto, a down year, but don't expect any discounts. A career 824 OPS and a 162 game average, 28 homer guy. That's what you'll be paying for, not the 729 OPS and 14 homers he delivered in 2021. There's a chance he takes the qualifying offer from the Mets unless he feels he can get a long-term deal in the open market. He'll be entering his age 29 season next year, so still plenty of good years down the road. Next, it's Mark Canha. I think he's one of the more underrated players in all of baseball. A 913 OPS in 2019, dipped down to 746 in 2021, but it just didn't barrel up as many balls, and therefore his hard hit rate was down. But as you can see here, he can still hit the ball hard. He's a gritty, passionate player, would be a valuable addition to anyone, and I think he's got a bounce-back season in him next year. Next, it's Kyle Schwarber. There's a mutual option here, so we'll see what happens. But if he hits the market, someone is going to get a stud. Of course he bounced back in 2021. 30-plus homers for the third time. A career-high 928 OPS. The dude is just a gamer. He's only going to be 29 next year, so more to come from Schwarbs for someone in 2022. We'll talk about a couple DHs. Nelson Cruz just keeps on going. 32 homers, 86 RBI with an 832 OPS at age 40, and he'll be back next year. And with the NL potentially adopting the DH, he'll have plenty of options. JD Martinez is next. He has a $19 million player option for 2022. The question is, does he opt out and try to get a deal that takes him deeper into his 30s? If he does that, does he stay with Boston? It's easier to get a multi-year deal heading into your age 34 season than age 35. In 2021, he led the league in doubles with 42, hit 28 homers, and drove in 99 runs. His OPS did bounce back from 2020, but it was still down compared to 2017, 18, and 19. That's something to watch. Still, it's him and Cruz as the best DH options. Let's go to the starters. We'll give you 5. First up, it's Max Scherzer. Entering his age 37 season, showing no signs of slowing down. In 2021, he went 15-4 with a 2.46 ERA and 236 strikeouts in 179 and a third innings. Take 2020 out of the equation, and he's posted an ERA under 3 in 6 straight seasons. How long can he keep this up will be the question that teams ask themselves, as he'll surely be looking for a multi-year contract, likely his final contract. Next up, it's Robbie Ray. Jays fans were treated to a career rebirth in 2021 as Ray could wind up winning the AL Cy Young thanks to his AL leading 2.84 ERA and 248 strikeouts. Maybe even more impressive was his walk per 9 rate, coming in at 2.4, the lowest of his career, and a dramatic improvement over 7.8, 4.3, and 5.1, where his walk per 9 rate had been the 3 previous seasons. Next up, it's Clayton Kershaw. Missed time in 2021 to injury, but while he was in there, his K per 9 rate was 10.7, the highest since 2017, and his slider was dominating hitters again. He'll be entering his age 34 season, and LA might have to decide between him and Max Scherzer. It'd be strange to see Kershaw wearing anything other than Dodger blue. Next up, it's Kevin Gausman. Late bloomer. He's going to get paid this offseason. A career year. 14 wins, 2.81 ERA, 227 strikeouts. Just set career marks across the board. How'd he do it? His slider became a put-away pitch. Never that effective at putting hitters away before. It became a put-away pitch 46% of the time that he threw it, even though he only threw it 6% of the time. A little change in when he used that pitch that yielded terrific results. The next pitcher on the list is Carlos Rodon, a career year in 2021, 13-5, 2.37 ERA, a 12.6 K per 9 rate, a 2.4 walk per 9 rate, all career best, and it's thanks in part to his mix, ditching the sinker and better location for the slider. He's only entering his age 29 season and will be a great addition to a rotation for someone. Let's go to the bullpen. Here are the top 3. Number 1, Raisel Iglesias. Changed leagues from 2020 to 2021, but had no issues. 34 saves, tied a career high, and his 13.2 K per 9 rate was a new career high. He'll be entering his age 32 season and has only thrown 481 innings, so still plenty of arm here. Next, it's Kenley Jansen, a bounce-back season in 2021, a 2.22 ERA, his best since 2017, 38 saves, opposing batting average down to 153 out of the 200s where it had been the last 3 years. His fastball velo had been on a downward trend since 2017, but was back up in 2021. If he keeps that up, then there's no reason to expect anything less from Kenley Jansen. Next up, it's Ryan Tepera, a 13 K per 9 rate in 2020, 10.9 this year, along with that 2.79 ERA. You have to wonder if anyone will bring him in and give him a chance to close. He's a different pitcher now than he was with the Blue Jays and will be one of the best bullpen arms targeted this offseason. Comment below, everyone, and let me know who you want your team to sign. And if there's a player on here that was on your team last year and you want them back, who do you want back? Make sure to comment below. Now, if you're new and just finding the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the alert, come on back for daily baseball content. If baseball is your thing, that's what this channel is all about. I think it's a place that you will like to come back and spend some time. Make sure to hit that like if you haven't hit that like yet. I appreciate that. It is great support for the channel and for the video. I will add some links of recent content for you to check out now. I appreciate you spending some time with the channel, and thank you for watching.